sort of different characterization. Swangambit is really level-headed. He is cool and collected. You don't see too many reactions from him on the webcam. Mada's really expressive. And I think both of these players are very similar in their own ways. They're both struggling a little bit in the rankings right now. They're down towards the lower end. I believe Swangambit actually is last place right now. However, both of these players have only played 16 matches as far as I know. So they are pretty low down there. They still have chances to prove themselves. And this is a critical one for both of them. As you see their stats, maybe Mada's a little bit favored in that win percentage rate. But yeah, you can see them both there. Mada's in 30th, Swangambit is in 38th. So this is a really critical one for them to start making a run for the top.
Definitely is. You can see Swangambit not only a bit behind on the leaderboard, but also a bit of a jump up to the players in front. So for him, there really is only one way, and it's up. You would really want to get yourself out of the bottom as fast as can be, and we go straight into it. Straight into game number 1. Again, remember, best of 3s. We're playing 10 rounds. Should go to that point, and then the first player to fall to 0 on the health bars, well, he's closing the round.
Our first round here is going to be in Canada. We have a lot of Canadian signs and infrastructure. I think we had some flags there in the town as well. Mada has some pretty good signs. Yeah, you see Vancouver on there for British Columbia.
Convenient.
Don't know if Swangambit has seen those signs, though.
That's the danger of moving. Some guy will go one street up the road, the other guy will head in the opposite direction, and then they lose out on crucial information. Good thing for Swangambit is that even if it doesn't have the exact location, he's still somewhat in the nearby vicinity. So only 500 damage done. I say only, that's actually a decent amount for round 1, because as you would have to imagine the viewers know by now, but as you can see up in the top right, just above Mada's health bar, you can see the damage multipliers. It starts at 1, and then with every single round we add another 0.5. So now they increase. Further down the line we go, the more these guesses start hurting.
Yeah, and as we head into Australia, another big country where the region guess is going to be critical, moving to find that information. Let's see if either of these players can do well in Australia. Mada's
anything specifically that you're going by here? Or is it just hoping to get that one sign with the phone code, the area code, something along those lines?
Yeah, you're going to want to find some direction signs or something here. You can probably get the region guess. I do like the West Australia here from Swangambit, just based on the landscape, that yellow signpost as well. But yeah, within Australia, you're going to want to get signs here. I don't know if Swangambit, he might have seen something for that town.
This is the issue, right? Because there's a lot of signs, a lot of info available, but it's about dissecting that info and figuring out what's actually useful. He's going to go West Coast as well, so in and around the same area, and it's actually going to be Swangambit close on this one. There you go.
Nice 800 points, yeah, with the multipliers, big country.
Good swing back in the opposite direction, sort of evening things out here, coming into round number 3. What a beautiful location.
Yeah, this is really nice. Love the brick paved street.
Yeah, exactly.
They should be able to make something good happen here in a city. Bound to get some good information.
Even if it's not a capital city, which rural could be, it's rare, I feel like, that we take players into big cities like this.
And Mada's
Kiev, Mada goes. Mada's like, I'm not sure, I don't know. We have Swangambit and Lviv, so both opting to go Ukraine. And they will be inside of Kiev. Mada almost there with the 5k, a plunk 5k almost too. It's a lot of damage coming through to Swangambit in round 3.
Yeah, Swangambit did not look too happy about that choice there.
Yeah.
Let's see if he can bounce back here, round 4. And we're going to be in Guatemala, I believe. Yeah, you have the giant Guatemala flag there.
Where? Rare Guatemala location? I don't feel like we get to see those too often.
Yeah, that's kind of fun. And again, just a big city. Both going for Guatemala, the capital.
When in doubt, go capital. And what's the obvious tell, just for some of the new players out there, what's the obvious Guatemala tell to you?
So, if you see the bottom of the Google car, you can kind of catch a glimpse of the bars there on Mada's screen. That's the Google car in Guatemala, so really easy trick.
The rack up on the top of the car. Had it had tape on it, we would be in Africa. But nope, not quite to be. We are here, and it is a 5k for Mada.
Yes.
Obviously, it's not going to be too big damage because they were both there, but you love to see it anyway.
Always good to get that 5k.
Definitely. And then from triple urban locations, we go way out in the open. It seems like Mada's initially thinking Australia. What are you thinking?
Yeah, should be Australia. I think we had Australian bollards. This is a classic sort of outback landscape. I do like the west guesses, and there you have it.
Oh, wow. I like how Mada is trying to up the pace a little bit. You can see on the average guessing coming into this game that Swangambit actually is the faster, at least on average, of the two. But Mada here trying to change the pace a little bit, maybe catch Swangambit off guard, but not quite to be, as we go out into the rural area once again.
Oh, this one should be interesting. Swangambit instantly locking Oman, not making too much of a distinct region guess, but yeah, this will be Oman somewhere with this car in this desert landscape. What is Mada going to respond with?
Taking the time. I mean, obviously, when you get the guess in instantly, the opponent will have 15 seconds, so might as well use them all to see if you can get closer. And, well, his Swangambit just plumped it in there, and still, he's going to be the closer of the two. And now that the multipliers are starting to stack up, even if you're only a few hundred kilometers apart, it's going to hurt a lot. So, nice claw back there from Swangambit.
Yeah, we're going to be Bangladesh here. You see Mada zooming in with that script on those signs. Some players have actually learned to read Bengali just for this game.
Wow.
Swangambit again, he's going fast. He's locked in already.
I like it. I like it again. Try to change the pace up a bit, trying to force Mada to get the guessing quickly, of course. I mean, as to be expected, I feel like at this level of play that he does have the country down. But Bangladesh, with 4 times the multiplier, is big enough that big damage can come through. But all the way down on the West Bengal border, not going to be a lot of damage come through, but could have been. Could have been big had one of them opted to go further towards the edge.
Yeah, definitely. Bangladesh is one of those countries, especially in the higher multis. It's underrated for its size, and yeah, you gotta really be good at reading guessing. But these guys are neck and neck right now. Anything can happen. Just a couple more rounds to go.
Yeah. A lot of info once more, but unfortunately, what a latte costs doesn't really get you the intel. Maybe it does give you the intel of where you are, because if you see a really expensive latte, you're in Denmark.
Yeah, you know, I never thought about that. That's a good region guessing tip.
If you know pricing in different countries, you might actually be on point with something. But what are we looking at here? This could be a very costly round if we are, in fact, in Philippines.
Yeah, it should be the Philippines, and you do get a lot of good signs and storefronts that tell you the provinces, cities. I think both of them have found it. Mada's looking at something. I can't see exactly what he's reading. He seems confident on that island he's clicking on.
There's a lot of info to be had. It actually might just be lining up a 5K here. Would be huge, because Swangambit is a bit further towards the west. He's in a very small city, zoomed all the way on in. Neither of them exactly correct, but again, Swangambit with a quick guess comes to cost him, and now he sits at just over 700 health.
Yeah, nice gameplay there from Mada. He found that sign that gave him the town and the province. So, really impressive stuff. Swangambit has one final shot here to make something happen, turn it around.
Round 9, 5 times multiply, and of course, for those you guys don't know, should we go into round 10 and not have anyone get completely eliminated on points, it's gonna be the player with the least points remaining that will fall. So for Swangambit, even if he doesn't fully take out Mada here, he would really wanna get things kind of evened up coming into a potential round 10. Let's see. Time is up. It's gonna be... Yeah, it's gonna be Mada closer, and it's gonna be enough, you'd have to imagine. Yes, in fact it is. Swangambit down and out. So Mada starts off 1-0.
Yeah, impressive stuff there from Mada. I have to say, he's a quite strong moving player. And you notice in that Brazil round, Swangambit didn't actually move at all. He just guessed without moving. So that strategy maybe didn't work out for him too well. But he's going to try to keep up that no moving now, game 2.
Exactly. I like the idea from Swangambit of trying to put up the pace and force Mada maybe into some mistakes, because we have seen Mada in tournaments past second guess himself a bit, which has cost pretty heavily. So when you stress him and force him to try and get those guesses in quicker, maybe you can get him. But Mada just did not fall under the pressure that Swangambit was trying to put on him. Let's see. Both these guys looking to go Greece, but Swangambit is opting to go towards the coastline. What are your main tells on Greece here? Is it trash cans, like in Turkey, or what are we looking at here?
Yeah, this kind of urban landscape is pretty characteristic of Greece. Yeah, they probably had some language as well, just to really confirm it. The distinct Greek alphabet. Yeah.
Thank you, Greece, for being very unique with your alphabet. It's always pretty easy, even for non-geography nerds. Always pretty easy to tell Greek apart from most of the languages. As Mada strikes first here. Of course, should he go out and win this one, it's going to be a 2-0, 3 points for him. So Swangambit would want to get the win here and take it into an NPC.
And we find ourselves back in Australia again. No moving this time. Swangambit's going west. Another West Australia.
I like his name, kind of living up to his play style with the Gambit. He's going in as fast as can be, just hoping everything. Try and, again, put pressure onto Mada, but Mada seems very calm in his guessing. And once again, proving that he's not to be trifled with.
Yeah, so far, great no moving guesses from both players. Nothing too much has happened yet. Here's round 3.
Ooh, another beautiful location. Mountainous, out by the waterfront. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for me, I always find coastal locations really fun to try and line up the, get the 5K.
Looks Mediterranean, no?
Yeah.
Am I completely off? No.
It should be Greece again. The wooden poles.
Yeah. Is that Greece unique? I mean, obviously not technically unique, but are they very common there? Is there any, are there specific Greek poles that you're seeing?
Yeah, here? The wooden Greek poles, like within Mediterranean countries. That's a pretty surefire tell.
Sounds good. I could imagine Hercules come walking down the shoreline. It makes sense to me that this would be Greece. Let's see if there are in fact correct. Plenty of islands to pick and choose from, and seems to me like Swangambit found the exact one. Oh wow! 5K, get some spamming in the chat, everyone. Holy. With the amount of islands you have to pick and choose from, that's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, it really is. Greece is not one of the easiest countries to line up the coast, so yeah, props for that. That is really good stuff. And Bolivia here with this landscape white Google car. Again, can they line it up on one of these small roads? I do like the area that they're both looking at by La Paz.
Saw back-to-back 5Ks last week. See if Swangambit finds it here again.
Mada's got 5 seconds. He's in a similar area.
Oh. Both in and around the right area. But once again, it's Swangambit out victorious in this one, obviously. Them being pretty much the exact same distance of the location. It's going to be minimal damage coming through, but that's just going to up the multipliers and make things even more difficult as we go up rural once again.
Big, wide open landscape here. These kinds of rounds can be tricky to get a read on like architecture because everything's so far away. You can see both of them zooming in really far, trying to get a good read. Yeah, it's tough to see for sure.
Get kind of a granary or something out there in the distance, western France. How are you liking this?
That can make sense, yeah.
We're both going.
If we have that blue sticker on the pole, I didn't see if we did.
Both looking to go in and around the western parts of Normandy. See if they're gonna be right in their assessments. 3 seconds to go, both locked in. They're letting the timer run all the way down, it seems, for some reason. I'm not sure what's happening. Mada is not sure what's happening. No one's sure what's happening. There we go. On to the next round beyond. They were both, in fact, correct all the way down the shoreline. But 12 damage again, minimum. Add that as Swangambit, good for him. Able to stay ahead.
Yeah, really nice region guessing from both of them. They had that coast to the north, the French poles. That landscape sort of in the northwest has that almost British-looking vibe to it. So yeah, good stuff.
Makes good sense. Things are quieting down. I'm not sure if the admin is having some issues running this this game session, but I'm sure they'll get it underway as fast as can be. Anything to you so far? I mean, as we get a brief break, and now I have to answer real quickly. Anything to you so far that has really stood out in this matchup?
Honestly, I think they're both just playing really well. I think, yeah, this no moving game definitely proves that. They've made really good, consistent reading guesses. And putting them to the test again here in Ukraine.
Ooh. Rural Ukraine. What do you... Is there a lot of easy... I mean, foliage tells? Or
honestly,
is it very similar around the country?
A lot of it can be pretty similar. I feel like this one maybe is more north, but...
Could be a big round then.
These players both just going in the middle, I think. Yeah, kind of tough.
I was gonna say, is this where you go, I mean, somewhere between two big cities and hope for the best? Let's see, 3.5 times multiplier can hurt quite a bit. Obviously, their flow right now being a little bit disturbed by the delay that we have in the game. But I'm sure they'll be able to keep their cool, even if we're throwing some difficulties at them. But, I mean, we can see it off of the maps that we have here. Oh, there we go. A little AC Milan tribute from Mada.
Nice.
As we can see, just on there where the locations are, they're pretty close to one another. A bit of distance in between them. You have Swangambit a bit more east. But
Yeah,
you have
with
to
that-
imagine, unless if one of them 5Ks, that damage is gonna be pretty small. I say that, but actually no, it's 2,300.
I was very off the mark with the north call there. It's actually quite south.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ukraine's one of those countries you can see. Both their guesses weren't all that close. Definitely tough, and definitely one I think they were both just hedging on.
Was
One in
there
the middle.
anything in that round in particular? Obviously, we came through it pretty quickly. Was there anything in that round in particular that you think, I mean, had they had 5 more seconds, could have helped them get a proper pinpoint, or were their guesses as good as yours?
Honestly, yeah, I don't think there was too much. Like, maybe they could line up the road a bit, but yeah, you would need a lot of time to really narrow it down to that one, I think. Unless you're a Ukraine expert, which
Well, I suppose,
certainly
yeah.
not.
Or you've been down that road last week and you just know,
Yeah.
wait, that tree, I've seen that tree before. And then you go from there. Mada, smiling, happy, right? And I'm not sure if he's talking to someone behind the camera, or if he's trying to talk to the viewers.
Yeah,
Seems
I don't
like
know.
he's maybe having a chat with someone behind one of the cameramen, one of the crew that have obviously been flown out to his home to be stood there and holding a camera just for this show, and then he's gonna fly out. No, I'm kidding, guys. It's just this webcam.
Yep. All right,
What do
we
we
have
here?
our next round.
Beautiful.
Very nice.
Got some really beautiful locations today. Looks, I was gonna say northern Norway, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, Norway is definitely good here. Again, kind of like Greece, there's just so many different like inlets on
Yeah.
the coast. Kind of hard to line up sometimes.
A lot of fjords to pick and choose from.
Mm-hmm.
When you go up towards Norway, they're both somewhat southern. Norway, not all the way out on like the southwestern tip, but now, I mean, you can see here slowly Mada is moving his way further and further north. And I like to think this is kind of what happens sometimes. They try to, you know, micro adjust there in the end of the game, and then if you micro adjust for long enough, those micro adjustments become one massive adjustment. If Mada just keeps going, you know, tap 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 further north, 10 seconds to go. They're both gonna log in. Time is probably gonna run out again, as again this gaming session has gone a little awry. But so far it's pretty hard to call this one. It's actually all the way up towards the north, and you can see both their reactions there. I mean, Chicago, that's one of those where you could have won the game had you gotten a better off.
Absolutely, and yeah, you can see it on their faces, as you said. Swangambit, again, he's in trouble right now. This is a similar situation to the moving game. And here we go, the next round.
It's a tough one.
Can he turn it around?
You have to hope so. Again, I mean, he's down at the bottom of the leaderboard. He can just get 1 point off of this. Would definitely be better than nothing. But down over 3,000 points right now. We really need to turn this one around. As Mada goes Australia, Swangambit instantly to follow.
Oh, he's quite far away from Mada's guess. He's out west again. Mada's in South Australia.
What do you like more?
That's tough to say. Honestly, I was kind of thinking south a little bit more. I like Mada's guess. He moved away from the coast now. Interesting.
And by south, you mean southeast?
Yes.
Yeah. I was just thinking.
He's moved. Yeah, they're so far away now.
He's in Denmark? I didn't know there was a city called Denmark in Australia. Or you know. You know what, Swangambit? Now I want your guess to be correct. If you're right next to Denmark, then I'll go for it. There you go. Let's see. Each their side of Australia. This is going to be game no matter who's going to come out victorious, unless if it's right in between the two. We're keeping the excitement up. Mada is like, come on, I want to know this. I need to know what's happening, guys. As you said.
Oh, man. The suspense.
It is suspense. Drum roll, please. It is Tasmania. All the way down south, and that's going to be game 8,000 damage done. And Mada, 2-0's Swangambit.
Really clean gameplay from Mada today, I have to say. Swangambit, not the result he was hoping for. Again, as we said, he was at the bottom of the leaderboard, so not adding another win to his belt. Unfortunate.
Yeah. Tough one for sure. But the main issue is this wasn't just a big throwaway game. There were definitely mistakes made on Mada's side. I mean, for example, that last Norway round too. Definitely issues that Swangambit, had he been on his A game, could have made into potential wins, but not quite to be. Not this time around. Mada will net himself an additional 3